So, hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, your Law Buddy, your one stop channel for law students and curious minds. In today's video, we are diving into something super important from the Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita 2023. The key definitions you must know if you are studying criminal procedure or preparing for exams. These definitions lay down the foundation of the entire BNSS, just like they did in CRPC, and trust me, once you understand these terms, the whole act becomes a lot easier to grasp. So grab your notebooks, hit the like button, and let's get started. Section 2 of BNSS states the definition. Subsection 1 says that in this Sanhita, unless the context otherwise requires, Clause A, audio, video, electronic means shall include the use of any communication device for the purpose of video conferencing, recording of processes of identification, search, seizure or evidence, transmission of electronic communication, and for such other purpose by other means as the state government may by rules provide. हम जब BNSS पढ़ेंगे तो उसमें पता चलेगा कुछ कुछ सेक्शंस में ऑडियो वीडियो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीन्स लिखा है जिसमें कि इंक्लूड होगा use of any communication device for the purpose of video recording for the purpose of identification or the search and seizure of evidence, transmission of electronic communication or for other purposes as the state government may by rule provide. Then we have sub clause B which talks about bail. So the bail means release of a person accused or suspected of a commission of an offense from the custody of law upon certain conditions imposed by an officer or the court on execution by such person a bond or a bail bond. So bail means एक पर्सन को रिलीज करना जो कि एक्यूज्ड है या फिर सस्पेक्ट है किसी ऑफेंस के कमीशन के लिए कि उसने कोई ऑफेंस कमिट करा है उसके ऊपर हमें सस्पेक्ट है हम उसे रिलीज कर देंगे ऑन द कंडीशंस विच कैन बी इम्पोज्ड बाय एन ऑफिसर और द कोर्ट बाय एग्जीक्यूशन ऑफ अ बेल और अ बेल बॉन्ड. ठीक है. Then we have clause C which is bailable offense. So bailable offense means any offense which is shown as bailable in the first schedule or which is made bailable by any other law for the time being in force, and non-bailable offense means any other offense. So bailable offenses जो होते हैं वो crime होते हैं where an accused has a right to be released on bail after being arrested. This means that the police or court must grant the bail if accused fulfills the required conditions while providing, including a surety and etc. Whereas non-bailable offences are those offences where bail is not a right and it is granted at the discretion of the court considering specific circumstances of the case. Moving to the next slide, Clause D, bail bond. Bail bond means an undertaking for the release with surety. Then clause E says that bond means a personal bond or undertaking or release without the surety. बेल बॉन्ड में होता है कि एक पर्सन को रिलीज करा जाता है विद अंडरटेकिंग फ्रॉम द श्योरिटी, एंड बॉन्ड में होता है अंडरटेकिंग फॉर द रिलीज विदाउट द श्योरिटी. यानी कि बेल बॉन्ड में श्योरिटी की ज़रूरत होती है वेयर इज बॉन्ड में इतनी ज़रूरत नहीं है. बॉन्ड जनरली रेफर्स टू अ रिटन एग्रीमेंट वेयर समवन इज obliged to do something or pay a sum of money, often with the condition that makes the obligation void if a specific act is performed or not performed. Then we have clause F which talks about charge. So charge includes any head of charge when the charge contains more heads than one. In order to define charge, we can define the charge. Charge is a formal accusation made by a court against a person against a person stating that they are believed to have committed a specific offense. Okay. Then we have cognizable offense. So cognizable offense means an offense for which, and cognizable case means a case in which a public officer may, in accordance with the first schedule or under any law for the time being, enforce arrest without warrant. So, in order to define cognizable offense is a serious crime for which a police officer can arrest an individual without a warrant and begin an investigation without the court permission. These offenses are usually more severe, like murder or rape, or require immediate attention from law enforcement. Then moving to clause H, which defines complaint. Complaint means any allegation made orally or in writing to a magistrate with a view to his taking action under this Sanhita that some person, whether known or unknown, has committed an offense but does not include a police report. In order to define a complaint is a formal legal document that initiates a lawsuit or judicial proceeding, outlining the claims, allegations, and the requested relief or remedy by the plaintiff against the defendant. Then we have clause K, inquiry. So, inquiry means every inquiry other than a trial conducted under the Sanhita by a magistrate or the court. An inquiry is a formal process of investigation, examination, or questioning conducted to gather information and establish facts related to a specific event, allegation, or issue. It's a non trial process conducted by a court or a magistrate aimed at discovering the truth or determining if a case warrants a full trial. Then moving to clause I, investigation. So investigation includes all the proceedings under this Sanhita for the collection of evidence conducted by a police officer or by any person authorized by a magistrate in this behalf. So, in order to define investigation, we may define it as it refers to a careful examination or inquiry, especially to discover the truth related to a crime or the facts, a legal matter, or a specific issue. It involves gathering, securing, examining evidence to establish facts which can be used to support or refute the allegations. It typically involves a police or other authorized authority collecting the evidence related to a crime. Then clause O talks about non-cognizable offense. Non-cognizable offense, an offense for which, and non-cognizable case means a case in which a police officer has no authority to arrest without a warrant. A non-cognizable offense is a crime where the police cannot arrest or investigate without a magistrate permission. They are typically less serious offenses compared to cognizable offenses and often involves issues like defamation, public nuisance. The police cannot initiate an investigation on their own or make an arrest without a warrant or a court order. Then we have clause Z, Warrant case means a case relating to an offense punishable with death, imprisonment for life, or imprisonment for a term exceeding the 2 years. सो वारंट केसेस वो केसेस होते हैं जो कि रिलेट करते हैं ऑफेंसेस विच आर पनिशेबल विद डेथ, imprisonment for life, or imprisonment for a term exceeding 2 years. एग्जाम्पल्स वारंट केस के होंगे जैसे कि मर्डर, डॉरी डेथ, ग्रेवियस हर्ट, थेफ्ट, रेप एंड एक्सेट्रा. These are the cases which are punishable with death, imprisonment for life, and imprisonment for a term exceeding the 2 years. Thank you for your time. If you have any feedback, recommendation, or questions, please share them in the comment section. Your input helps me improve. Thank you.